Hello, everyone. This is another Black Conservative. I'm Ryan Boland. Thank you all for joining me. Apparently, Songstress Demi. Now, look, I'm just going to put this out here. I can't pronounce her last name. So I'm just going to say Demi L, okay? Because I can't pronounce her last name, and I don't see in the comment box, well, you can't even pronounce a person's name, so you shouldn't say anything about them. I don't hear that. I'm just going to say Demi L. Now, when I first began to read the headline on the article, or the first paragraph in the article, I thought this was Demi Moore. I'm thinking, I see the name Demi, and I'm thinking, oh, Demi Moore is into this? But no, this is Demi L, okay? It's Lovato, something like that. Well, anyway, this Demi L has decided to, and this is so funny to me, has decided to go back to using the pronoun she instead of the other pronouns that she wanted to use, it and they, because it's more convenient, something along that line. She decides to go back to using the pronoun she. Now, when I read this article, you'll see what she's talking about. But to me, I think this is hilarious. But let's get into this article here. It's a pretty short article. This is what happens when you see just how insane some of these beliefs are. You start saying to yourself, wait a minute, this ain't sounding right, okay? This just, nah. Anyway, left-wing actress and impeached Trump songstress Demi L says she is going back to using she and her pronouns after previously using they and them, adding, quote, I'm such a fluid person. Now, apparently, in this article, these are her words, okay? Elle appeared in a recent episode of the Spout podcast, where host Tamia admitted that she does not understand the concept of they and them pronouns and asked the singer to explain it to her. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. It would be hard to explain something like that in a logical way. It would kind of be hard to explain it, but let's go on. That's when the singer revealed that she is actually going by the pronouns she and her again. Yeah, so they, them is, and I guess these are her words, clearly. I've actually adopted the pronouns of she and her again, Elle said. I'm such a fluid person. And what is that supposed to mean? This is just weird, man. This is weird. Elle continued, I felt like, especially last year, my energy was balanced in my masculine and feminine energy. So that when I was faced with the choice of walking into a bathroom and it said women and men, I didn't feel like there was a bathroom for me because I didn't feel necessarily like a woman. I didn't feel like a man. I just felt like a human. So let me get this right. Let me get this straight. You got three areas here. I'm trying to understand this. I didn't feel like a man. I didn't feel like a woman. I just felt like a human. I don't understand the philosophy. I don't understand the worldview here. I don't even know how to respond to that. What are you trying to say, that being human and being a woman and being a man is? I mean, what is it? Three different categories. I feel like a human. I don't feel like a man today. I don't feel like a woman today. I just feel like a human. I mean, how's humans supposed to feel? I mean, I don't understand. I mean, if you're a woman and you feeling like a woman, like women normally feel, aren't you being human? If you feel like it's just crazy. It's just crazy, man. Anyway, she goes on, and that's what they/them is about for me. It's just about like feeling human at your core. Recently, I've been feeling more feminine, and so I've adopted she and her again. Now, let me stop right here. Is that really what she's feeling? Or is she discovering the idiocy of this whole pronoun concept. As the person asked the question, explain the concept to me because it doesn't make sense to me. Of course it doesn't make sense to you because it's not supposed to make sense to you. It's supposed to confuse. That's the whole goal. That's the goal of the radical left, is to confuse you. I'm going to keep saying that until I become dark as charcoal. That's the whole goal, is to confuse you. That's what radical Marxism is all about. It's to confuse and disorient you so that the true radical Marxists can come in and fix everything up for you and explain to you what it's really all about. That you was messed up from the beginning, and we're going to come in and save the day. Anyway, but let's go on. She goes on to say, but I think what's important is like nobody's perfect. Everyone messes up pronouns at some point, and especially when people are learning. It's just all about respect. It's just all about respect. And then she says, everyone messes up pronouns at some point. Now, I'm just guessing that as she began to adopt those crazy pronouns, that people was forgetting to call her by those pronouns that she wanted to be called by. Now, some people, I've seen some transgenders get upset. I've seen one video some months ago, and some of you probably have seen this video, where a guy walks into a store. Clearly, he's a man. Clearly, he's a man. I mean, oh, man. I mean, this guy, if he was trying to look like a woman, he's certain. I've seen transgender women, transgender men who really look like women. I mean, it would be hard to distinguish them. I mean, almost to the point of, any of you guys ever seen The Crying Game? Excellent movie, by the way. Okay. And far as the plot and so forth, excellent movie. Right there, that would be someone I would deem a transgender. If you didn't look hard enough, you would swear that's a woman. I've seen true men who are transgenders who really look like women. This guy did not look like a woman. He had long hair, put on a wig and all this, and had makeup, but he looked like Arnold Schwarzenegger with a wig on. He goes into a store and the clerk calls him a he. And he gets all upset, hooping and hollering and making threats and all this other kind of stuff. Well, going back to Demi L, it seems to me that instead of her acting like this transgender men did in the store, hooping and hollering and cursing and carrying on, she figured, well, you know what? This just doesn't make sense. This just doesn't make sense. People make mistakes, as she said. So basically, this is my opinion. She going back to the regular, I'm a she, I'm a female, because it makes more sense, right? Makes sense, right? I mean, we get to the point where things that make, this is so hilarious. We're getting to the point where things that make sense, okay, things that make sense, when people start to go back to things that make sense, it's almost as if it's revolutionary. Wow, that's a revelation. Yeah, no, it's not a revelation. It just makes sense. It's pure logic. It's not a revelation. It's not deep. It's not mystical. It's not a discovery. It's just that it makes sense for her as a female to call herself a she. Now, I've seen the picture. She's acting like this is some kind of revolutionary thing now. It's going to get to the point, before I move any further, this is my opinion on this. I'm predicting this. It's going to get to the point in this country, if we don't wake up, if America doesn't wake up from this radical nonsense, it's going to get to the point where people that adhere to normalcy is going to be seen as revolutionary, going to be seen as the new gurus of the future. You know, I'm a he, I'm a she, when in reality, they always were a he and they always were a she. And people are going to be like, oh my God, and they're going to start flocking to these people like there's some great guru, some great leader, you know, like in the olden days. I know that sounds comical, but I would not put it too far behind me. Normalcy is becoming a toxic term now. Being normal is becoming the out thing. It's becoming when you're normal, you're an outcast. It's those things that are abnormal that is being accepted now. And so what's going to happen, I believe, is that people that are normal are going to be seen in either two ways. They're going to be seen as outcasts because you're normal, or you're going to be seen as some great guru, some great teacher who really isn't a great guru or great teacher, but is just simply someone that's normal and is trying to return people back to normalcy, to being normal. That's all it is. That's all it's going to be. But anyway, let's go on. In May of last year, just months after coming out as pansexual, Elle claimed that she was gender non-binary, proclaiming that to the public that she would be using the pronouns they and them to refer to herself. A few months after that, however, the pop star announced that it's okay if people misgender her because even she sometimes can't remember which pronouns she had decided to use. So that's really what it's all about. She got tired of using these silly pronouns to referring to herself. She got tired of it. She got tired of calling herself they. She got tired of calling herself them. You know, she got tired of it and got tired of forgetting. So she said, you know, I'm going to go back to the regular. In other words, I'm going to go back to being normal. Anyway, the concept of gender fluidity has become an increasingly popular trend among young people in the wake of the entertainment industry, media outlets, and left-wing activists promulgating the notion and hyping transgenderism. But as for now, it appears that Elle is over the gender pronoun craze, switching back to she and her until further notice. And that's the end of that article there. Here's the bottom line, folks. She's just tired. She's tired of forgetting about the pronouns she gave herself, they and them. She's getting tired of forgetting. She sees it doesn't make any sense. Here she's being asked by this lady on this show, explain this concept to me. Now she has to explain it to her in a way that makes sense. And you can't explain that to someone in a way that makes sense. But the only thing you can say is, well, I just prefer to call myself them or they or it. That's just what I prefer to call myself. That's what I feel like. I feel like a it, so I'm a it. I feel like a stove, I'm a stove. I feel like a car, I'm a car. Although I don't know what a car and a stove feels like, but I feel like a dog, I'm a dog. I feel like I'm a cat, I'm a cat. That's about all you can really do in explaining it, because you cannot explain that worldview in any real rational way. The only thing that the person whom you're explaining it to can do is respect the fact that you want to give yourself those pronouns, want to name yourself those pronouns. That's the only thing they can do, and call you those names. I mean, that's all they can do. Okay, if you want me to call you a they, I'll call you a they. You want me to call you a it, I'll call you a it. You know, if you want me to call you a them, I'll call you them. I mean, you know, I'll call you that. I don't believe it. I think it's silly. I think it's illogical. I think it's irrational. But because it makes you feel better, I'll call you that. I feel bad for you, but I'll call you that. That's about the only thing that person who is being explained this rationale can actually do. And this is what I believe Demi L has gotten to. She's gotten to the point where she's like, well, I don't feel like explaining this. It makes no sense. I'm tired of having to try to explain this. So let me go back to regular normal pronouns. I'm a she. So basically what she's doing is revolutionary. Huh? You know, she's revolutionary. I can just imagine it, man. I can just imagine it. I see it. I see that kind of future for America if America don't wake up from this nonsense. As people that's just normal things will be seen as revolutionary. Let me end this video on this note. I'm a fiction writer, and I've written volumes of short stories and so forth. And it's one particular short story. Unfortunately, I didn't get it published yet. And I'm not going to give the name of it, but I wrote it some years ago. Essentially, a father and a husband wakes up one morning to a situation that happened in his city and on his neighborhood that completely changes things all over. I mean, it just completely flipped everything over. Let's put it to you like this. Let me summarize it this way. He wakes up and finds out that everyone on the street, including his wife and his daughter, have become homicidal maniacs. But that what I mean by homicidal maniacs, I mean they're like slaughtering people, like killing people with chainsaws, cutting them open. I mean, just crazy stuff. I know that sounds crazy and dark, but I wrote this some years ago, okay? I'm a fiction writer. And this is considered to be normal. And being normal is considered to be abnormal. And that at the end of the story, the main character, the husband, is taken by force by a police officer and put into a section of the city where all the normal people have been locked up. I'm pretty sure you get what I'm saying. So this is what I believe is eventually going to happen here in America. What is abnormal is becoming normal, and what is normal is becoming abnormal. And sooner or later, that which is truly normal in the natural sense will become extraordinary, will become revolutionary to people who live abnormal lives as if it's normal. These people will become the great gurus of the end times. Normalcy. Just saying. What do you guys think? Leave your comments in the comment section below. Like, share, and subscribe to this channel. God bless you all, and see you again.